Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Yes, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. I'm in New York City. I've got a hearing today in court. And I came in yesterday to prepare for the hearing, to meet with all the different lawyers and what have you. And I had a chance last night to go see my son, daughter-in-law, and two of our grandchildren. And it was a great time. And I knew I was going to be filming my video thought for the day for today, and that I was doing it on books. So I want to tell you about the book that I have today. It is Nate the Great Saves the King of Sweden. My granddaughter, Ebba, loves Nate the Great books. She finds them intriguing. Now, she's in the first grade, and Nate the Great is a detective, and he's solving all sorts of problems as a smart first grader might do, or second grader, or whatever grade Nate the Great is in. And Ebba loves these stories. Now, I want to lay the scene for you last night, and then I want to tell you an overlay to this in my video thought for the day. I had a chance to go have dinner with Will and our son and his family and Nora and the kids. And after dinner, before bed, Ebba said to me, "Would you please read me a Nate the Great book?" Now, there were opportunities for me to be talking to Will and find out about how his day went at school. There was opportunities for me to talk to Nora and find out how her day went. Lots of opportunities to do adult things and parent things, but nothing seemed more important to me at the moment than reading to Ebba, Nate the Great Saves the King of Sweden. You see, earlier in the day, one of our other children had called me, and she said, "Dad, I'm writing a devotional for my work. And the devotional that I'm going to write on is on neglect of children. Do you have any stories or anything that come to mind that would help me with this devotional?" And I told Gracie, I said, well, what occurs to me right now is if you go back to the time of the New Testament and of Jesus, there were a lot of people who thought children just needed to be quiet and kept out of the way, and that there were adult things for adults, but for children, not so much. And so Jesus, who is very popular, walking around, a popular teacher and worker of miracles, Jesus, arguably the most important person of his time, if not forever. Jesus has what would call themselves handlers. These were his dear friends, his confidants, his disciples. And there came a point where some of the parents were bringing their young children to have Jesus just love on them or meet them or say something to them. And the disciples were like, no, those kids need to stay away. You know, this is important stuff. This is adult stuff. This is save the world stuff. We don't need kids here. And the neglect they were showing those children came to Jesus's attention, and Jesus says, "Stop right now. Don't you prevent those children coming to me. This is who God loves and has made, and I want to love on them, and I want to spend time with them." And so the little children come, and Jesus, I'm sure he told them stories. I'm sure he sang songs. I'm sure he talked to them and engaged with them. And I told Gracie, I said, I'd write the devotional on that. Well, she sent it to me, and she wrote it way better than I could have. But I loved that idea, and it was fresh in my brain when my granddaughter asked me last night, "Do you have time to read Nate the Great?" And I thought, well, I need to do some work. I need to finish talking to Will and Nora, but there's nothing more important than taking that moment with a child. So I want you to think about that today. I want you to think about how important to God children are. And maybe you don't interact with children, but you can still pray for them and you can still think about them. And if you do interact with children or with those who have children, do so in a way that recognizes their value. God will stop what he's doing to pay attention to them. We should do the same. It's your video thought for the day.